It is time for us to say hello, though, to our guest. He's an unknown expat nerd from the UK. He started a chat room on Facebook called The Breakfast Club, which has now got 45,000 members, some who post, some who lurk, most people who don't even go on there, and still got 45,000 members. We've endured and still do Beangate. How many baked beans you get for breakfast? Should the beans be next to the eggs?
Yes.
You know that one?
Yeah.
The cheapest food anywhere, forcing some to sell absolute crap and others to sell at a loss. So we blame the Breakfast Club for that.
Yeah.
Seen the launch of numerous eateries via the page, which is good, some of which have done well. It's gone from a shifty bitch fest to an informative one with everything from how to make, well, let's have a look at this morning. You ready? This morning I got how to make fried bananas, a wife's attempt to make a great British breakfast, which actually looked good, numerous self-promotions for businesses, a bloke in Harrogate, England, trying his hand at cooking Thai food, the usual battle for cheapest baked beans, usually won by Siambris, and a moan about franchise food outlets. Well, one at least where prices rise and the portions shrink. Well, that's the Breakfast Club, the errant child of a man who lisps. No, he doesn't lisp. He does on Monty Python's version.
Right.
Yeah. But he lists himself as Mark Anthony Flack, who, unlike the Monty Python character, doesn't lisp. Do you lisp?
I don't think so. Lisp.
Have you not seen The Life of Brian?
Do you know what? Years and years ago, but I can't remember
It's gone red now.
all of the details.
I love it. The lights do that.
No, it's just the reflection
Yeah, I
of
know,
the
but
on-air
he
light.
looks like he's had about 14 beers last night, doesn't he? Mark Anthony Flack, welcome to the show.
Do you know what? Thank you very much for having me on. I appreciate it. And I've knocked something off the bucket list this morning. I've actually seen Megan do the TARDIS live. I've seen it on YouTube.
And I was trying to hide
It was
behind my hand.
fantastic. That's,
People don't think she does it live.
Yeah.
No, no,
I'll prove it now. I'll prove it.
Sometimes she actually takes off.
I've seen it. She's got a little TARDIS type Doctor Who
It's the only job she
mug.
does.
Yeah, I know. This is, as I said, this is the
the only
cutting
reason
edge.
we keep her.
This is the cutting edge of Pattaya
Oh,
broadcasting
absolutely.
and local community radio.
Yes,
So
yes.
fantastic. No, thank you very much for inviting me on, Tom.
Two questions
I do appreciate
for you.
it. Go for it. Yes.
First question. Is your real name Mark Anthony Flack? Are you really called Mark Anthony? Did your mum really do it as a joke, or is it your joke?
No, actually, that is my real name,
Your
Mark
mum-
Anthony Flack.
Somebody was retaking it.
I was on Facebook as Mark Flack, and then they reported it because they thought my name wasn't Mark Anthony Flack, and I had to send them my passport and change it to my full name, which is Mark Anthony Flack.
So do you dress up as a gladiator at night?
No,
It's
no, but I do understand why people would think that. But I should really change it back to Mark Flack. But I think Facebook would probably ban me, wouldn't they? So
Julius Caesar Flack. That sounds rather good. You could do that one, couldn't you?
Yeah, I was very upset. They didn't think I was real, but I am real.
Second question for you.
Yes.
Why on earth did you start the Breakfast Club?
Do you know what? I didn't mean to. We've got a little bit of a similarity actually, Tommy, because when you first set up your radio station all those years ago, you set it up mainly as a hobby.
That's right.
And when I used to come out here on holiday, I always used to chat to sort of like various different expats and people who had all these great suggestions of places where to go for food. American restaurants, buffet options, English breakfast, all that type of stuff. And at the time, the mobile phone technology, even though it was 8-9 years ago, was getting better and better. And I saw quite a lot of people on their news feeds putting things up about, I had a great breakfast here, I had a great breakfast there. And I started doing it on my own news feed. And I thought, well, actually, rather than just like keep, spamming the news feed, because people in the UK, they don't really care where you're having breakfast in Pattaya. Why don't we have like a community page so people could upload restaurant experiences in Pattaya, right? And it could all be in one place and it could all be in a secure group.
But you have an arch rival, which is called not the Breakfast Club.
Yes.
Which obviously they're splitters, aren't they? They decided we're going to get away. We don't want to be with Mark Anthony Flack.
Yeah.
So you've got competition.
It's not as good though.
Isn't it? Are you on both?
I hate to admit it, but yes, I
She's
am.
on everything, mate.
I think there's around about 20 different food groups now in Pattaya, but the Breakfast Club was definitely the first one.
Yeah.
Right, where's the best breakfast in Pattaya? Where do you think has the best breakfast in Pattaya?
Do you know, it's almost an impossible one, isn't it? Because it depends on how much money you actually want to spend on your breakfast.
If money is not the most important thing, if it's not the most important thing, Where's the best breakfast?
Oh, I get asked this a lot. I would turn around and say the Casa Pascal breakfast
Very good
brunch that
breakfast.
they do, which
Excellent
is
breakfast.
$2.50. I mean,
That's not expensive.
No, it's fantastic.
It's £5.
Do you know? Have you seen what you get? It's they put in desserts. You
Do you
can
get
have,
free tea and coffee?
Is that a buffet?
you get it's a buffet. Yeah,
Yes.
you get
Right.
free
eggs for you and everything.
You get and you can have as much as you want. And do you know, even when we came out of COVID and places started to reopen, I actually popped down there and we walked in. This just goes to show how popular it is. And they said, "Have you booked?"
Ooh.
And this was at like 10 o'clock in the morning. And it's
Did you say, do you know who I am?
I said absolutely. I'm not even expecting to pay for this. You know who I am.
Well, yeah, you don't pay for food, do you?
No.
When was the last time everybody knows you walk in and you go, look, if you don't give me free food and the wife
Yeah.
and
I'm
my
going
mates,
to block you from
I'm going
Breakfast
to block
Club.
you and I'm going to put bad
Yeah.
things about you on Breakfast
Yeah, no,
Club.
it's been 9
You're
years.
famous for that.
It's been 9 years since I last picked up a bill in a restaurant.
Yeah, I'm
It's
sure. I
fantastic.
don't believe it.
And do you know what? Some of the listeners are going to be thinking he's being absolutely serious. Look,
He is.
The reality is.
He gets free food.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I don't. I pay my way. In fact, actually, I go out of my way not to take freebies from restaurants. But the reality is, most of the restaurants in Pattaya at the moment, because it's been probably the hardest 2 years ever for everyone in Pattaya, you know, they're not in a position to start handing out freebies, and I'd never do that. You know, one of my sort of brainchilds of the Breakfast Club was also to be able to give small businesses a really big voice in Pattaya.
But is there any money in it? Do you make any money off it?
No, the only people that
So this is like
It's a hobby.
self-flagellation, isn't it? It's like
the
masochism or sadism or something,
the
isn't
only
it?
way.
Well, it is. You're taking a beating for this, and you're not even getting any money for it.
But
At
the
least
only
you get paid.
But the only way you can actually make any money out of the Breakfast Club, or the only way people can actually make, is if people see the reviews and then the customers actually go to those venues, right?
Right.
You couldn't charge advertising.
So
on
how
a
do you make
Facebook
money
Club.
out of that?
Well, if, for example, a restaurant is promoting their product on the Breakfast Club
Yeah.
and then customers go there, then they're obviously benefiting from the group.
So they're going to give you something. They pay you then, do they?
No, of course
He's
not.
not talking about
I'm
himself,
not
he's
talking
talking
about
about
myself.
restaurants.
I'm not talking about myself. I'm
Right.
talking about if, for example, you are, I don't know, let's say the Sportsman, and you post up, hey, we're having our pizza buffet on Friday night, and they get 3 or 4 customers that decide to go there for that, then that's generated that restaurant revenue.
Right. So the page works, but still you're not making any money from it.
No, but it's never ever been set up to be a business. It was set up to
You're
be.
still getting a gyro check from England. I mean, just trying to figure out how he lives. That's all.
I mean, you're more than
Look,
welcome
he's lost
to.
it now. He's
Tommy, you're more than welcome to ask that. I worked in a publishing company back in the 1999, and it was a commission-based sales job, and I was working on a magazine, and that magazine basically grew and grew and grew,
Right.
and I did.
Quit the Breakfast Club. You can go
Yeah.
and work for us selling advertising.
Yeah.
I would
He's
love.
the one to do that.
Yeah.
I would love to. That's
That's
how,
your new job.
Yeah,
You are now
I mean-
officially hired.
The publishing company that I worked on and all those magazines all those years ago, they sold out to the independent newspaper group for over 6 million.
Well,
Right.
you can work for us a couple of months. We'll sell out for over 6 million. That'd be good.
I was very lucky. Listen, I bought property when I was young in London, and you know, I've got properties in London rented out. And when people ask me how do I make my money, I was just lucky. When all my friends were blowing their commission checks on trips to Las Vegas and things like
As you
that,
do.
I was being boring and hiving it all away, because I thought if I have a couple of properties in London that are sort of like not bought and paid for quite yet, that will generate me a little bit of an income, you know.
We've had the best breakfast. Where's the worst breakfast?
Oh, I'm not gonna.
Ooh, here we
Oh,
go.
come on, name it. It's got to be a place that goes to 7-Eleven and buys the sausage and bacon there.
I think
Has a
it's-
congealed egg and the beans touching the egg, which of course is a golden rule not to do.
I've never, do you know what? I've never understood why people get so worked up over beans touching an egg. I mean, an English fry up is everything just lumped
Yeah.
onto a plate, and you want it
Yeah.
greasy, and you want it to be able to dunk the bread and all that kind of stuff. No, but that
Even if
caused
you
World
didn't
War
know
III, doesn't it?
before. Sadly, he's no longer with us. He was a very good friend of mine, Robbie.
Oh yeah,
You
Robbie.
know, remember Robbie?
Yes, I
Right.
remember Robbie. Yeah.
Robbie would have thrown a breakfast at the waitress if the beans had been touching the egg. His wife used to come round when he lived in. He was living. His wife used to cook him breakfast, and if she put the beans next to the egg, he'd throw it at her.
Really? Right.
Absolutely. People are very beans and egg. And of course, then the other thing is, how many beans did you get? This is all on the Breakfast Club, isn't it?
Yes.
How many beans did you get? And I invented a bean counter, baked bean counter, which actually didn't exist. And you used to sit there and count them. People used to put pictures of breakfasts on your site, and other people used to blow them up and count the number of beans.
No.
Yeah.
And what make were they?
Yeah.
You know, what's the best?
Well,
what do you think?
COVID
Is,
times,
I tell you what, I can give you a little bit of history though, because I was there when Simon, from all those years ago, when he was at Irish Rovers.
we were too. He used to advertise with us.
Absolutely, and I remember he was in Irish Rovers when he just bought it, and he used to have rooms upstairs. And I remember he turned around and said he used to see his customers come downstairs and walk straight out, and they would go up the road
To get breakfast.
And one day he followed.
Robin's Nest, that's where they were going.
No, they weren't. They were going to the home of the original budget breakfast, as far back as I can remember, which
Where's
was
that?
Crazy Dave's
Oh,
on Soy
God.
Childhood.
Oh,
Here we go.
Crazy
Here we go.
Dave.
So
no.
So,
Only fools and horses, whatever time he got there. Him arguing with his missus and a queue of people desperate to get to the loo after having his breakfast. I'm sorry, Crazy Dave.
and do you know what? I actually went there with my friend Tom. Took me there for the first time ever, and he turned around and he goes, "Look, Mark, I'm going to tell you the truth. It's pretty bad, but it's only 89 baht, or you can upgrade to 129 baht. I think it was about 65 baht to the pound then, so it was ridiculously cheap, right? And I remember like going, like, the sausages, mate, there's no meat in them. It's just like a block of flat fat. But in fairness, they did survive for a number of years. So
Yes.
I'm not gonna go into.
Then you had Canterbury Tales.
Yeah, you had Canterbury
Bless
Tales.
Dave, which was a great place to go for a coffee, don't eat, and never drink the water.
Seasider. Have you ever been to Seasider?
Not sure.
I've
that
been
was down
past
there
it.
as well, yeah.
Seaside.
Still there, I think, on Shiping.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
You know, the best place for breakfast in those days was in Soy 6.
Oh, Jimmy Mac's.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
no,
Jimmy
they
Mac,
get
because
some
Jimmy
good
Mac, I
reviews.
think, originally had the Vic.
Yeah.
And then when he sold it, he opened up Jimmy Mac's, a little shop house, seedy as hell, right? No air conditioning. I used to do the afternoon show and the lunchtime shows in the old days. And so I used to go there for breakfast in the morning. And you'd get the outside table because you could smoke.
Yeah.
And you could watch everybody coming to work, the girls. And they'd look as rough as hell when they arrived. You know, bang on the door. And they come out all schminked up, they had their hair done, everything else outside in their bikinis. And you could watch Soy 6 opening up.
Yeah.
Jimmy Mac's. And the breakfast was good.
Yeah, absolutely. But they're still there now, aren't
It's an
they?
institution. I've been there. I went there a couple of months ago for breakfast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. But so you won't tell us who you think's got the worst breakfast.
I don't think it would be fair for me to go into who because at the end of the day, right? Somebody
Find out from him when we're doing the news.
So one person's sort of like, you know, worst breakfast is they might say, oh, well, actually, I love that place. The thing is with Pattaya, look, what we've got to remember, okay, the reason why there's so many sort of like budget breakfast places and budget food places is because Pattaya caters for quite an enormous expat community, and a lot of those guys are actually out here on pensions. Their pensions were worth a lot more money a few years ago than they are now.
But 89 baht for a breakfast is insane.
89 baht for a breakfast is insane, but they all kind of follow this business model that hopefully these people will go in and they'll buy extra drinks and they'll buy
So
all,
the
all
trick
that
is,
kind of
let's
stuff.
just look at the trick.
Yeah.
Customer comes in, I want the 89 baht breakfast. I know it comes with free cups of tea.
Yes.
Yeah, and they bring you out a cup of tea straight away.
Yeah.
The breakfast takes forever to come out. Of course, you finished your tea conveniently.
So
when
you
it
have
comes
to
out,
order
so you have
another
another one. And if you've got your Thai girlfriend who you've just met but fallen in love with and know her very well, and she wants food, Thai food's not 89 baht. So
No.
it's like a loss leader. It's like a magnet.
I think again, I'm going to go back to the old days, but Simon and Irish Rovers, when he had that, or iRovers or whatever it's called now, the only reason why he did that 99 baht breakfast was because he wanted to get as many people in the mornings as possible, because they weren't doing any business at 150, 200. And then when those customers were there, he would meet and greet them and say, hey guys, where are you watching the football later? Where are you
That's
watching
right, yes.
where are you watching this? He used it to basically showcase. Now, when Simon actually got rid of it, the guy that bought it did the maths and went, hold on a second, why on earth are we selling breakfast at 99 baht, right? We're not making 1 baht out of this. We're not hardly making anything. You know, by the time we put the staff in with, and don't forget all of the other
Take off the
expenses.
sausage.
Yeah. And I think he put it up to 129 baht.
Yes.
But his business basically went from 150 breakfasts back down to 20, 30.
Yeah.
That margin
Probably
made a
making
huge
more
difference.
money out of the 20 or 30 than he was out of the 150, to be fair.
Well, there's a restaurant that.
So has he gone back to 99 baht now? I don't know.
No, I still think they're 129 baht. I think the 99 baht breakfast, I think Nicky's have got a good one for 99 baht to get customers through the door.
Cheap Charlie's
Cheap
have a
Charlie.
cheap one?
Well, Cheap Charlie's have opened up. They're opening up their second location soon in John TM.
Good
but
God.
You've got Hungry Hippo, right? Now, they're doing... I mean, they at one point, this was absolutely unbelievable. A friend of mine turned around and said, I found a better breakfast than the 99 baht breakfast. And I went, why is that? He goes, look, in Hungry Hippo, 2 poached egg on toast, bubble and squeak, cup of tea, 49 baht.
Are they paying you to advertise this?
No, that was what my mate said to me, and I went.
Insanity.
But I said to them, but essentially, you're giving. I said, most places for a cup of tea is 35 or 40 baht, so you're giving the food for 10
Free.
baht. And I said, by the way, that's not really a breakfast. How the hell does bubble and squeak go onto a breakfast? It's not a breakfast. He goes, well, I'm not a big eater anyway, so it's good value for money
Best
for
breakfast, unfortunately, she had to go down and meet everybody else's price because it's far too good for it, is Nicky's.
me. Yeah, very good breakfast. Absolutely.
Debbie's breakfast there, it should be
Oh, yeah,
150
completely
baht.
agree. Yeah.
And she's done it for 99. She does lunch specials at 99 baht as well.
No, they've
because
just had to stop those because of the price of the ingredients.
Good,
So
because she didn't deserve it. She deserved to be able to charge
Yes.
more.
Yeah, of
because her
course.
food is real food. It's not,
and proper,
stuff that's...
as I said, she basically they work very, very hard, and a lot of the restaurants do. They work very hard to actually put out a really good quality product. A lot of the discount places, their business model is kind of based on volume, right? If they're turning over huge volume, then they can make money. But as I said, look, parts of this town in terms of the restaurant industry are absolutely have been decimated over 2
All
years.
businesses,
And we've
including
still,
us.
Absolutely, and we've still got a situation where large chunks of the city and restaurants haven't actually been able to reopen. There's just not enough tourism here. Pattaya was never geared up. Central Pattaya was never geared up just to cater for the expat community.
Absolutely not. That's why he had the expression, and a lot of businesses lost out because they used to look at customers as fools on stools.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
they used that expression because as one tourist left, another one arrived. With us in the studio still is Breakfast Club's Mark Anthony Flack. The man who can block you straight away if he doesn't like
Yeah.
you. So if you went on there and you said, I know where to get the best Chinese in the town. It's Chinky Joe's down in Jomtien.
Oh, yeah, that's
you'd be
it.
blocked
Instant
straight
block,
away.
yeah.
Instant block straight away. Because your wife runs a Chinky.
My girlfriend, yeah, she does. She's called the Chinese Takeaway by Pimmy, and it's Western style. So it's like the UK. It's based on what you would get from your local Chinese.
It is. Well, to
in
be
the
fair
UK,
to our
yeah.
to our listeners and viewers, obviously you can't see
That's
the
what
plates.
we were munching on.
We
a
have
little
just
bit
had a
earlier.
complete Chinese takeaway, which is why we're a bit bloated
Yes.
this morning.
Absolutely.
And
no.
it was exactly the same.
Yeah.
It was obviously UK style, but she spent a long time as a cook, hasn't she?
Yeah, she's worked in she worked with Simon at the Retox Group. She went to Le Cordon Bleu Culinary School in Bangkok to learn French food.
Oh, wow,
Which
Oh, God, that would excite you, wouldn't it? A bit of French.
yeah, she did that.
You
And
said it with the wrong accent,
And
actually.
she worked with Luca Marchetti, who's got a fantastic restaurant, Trattoria Toscana. She worked with him for 18 months or so.
Right, now she's running a Chinese.
And now she's doing, it was my fault. I took her back to the UK and we went to Chinatown in London to actually
Somebody
meet my
else did
parents.
this. Somebody had a bar down on Soy Bacau.
Yeah, there was-
Scottish guy. He and his wife did it for a little while.
Yeah, they had a little bar and they had a little Chinese place called Wok and Rock. So
got to say that Pimmy has got it's the first time I've had it.
Yeah, me too.
Because you and I have talked about this, so I'm going to get
Yeah,
some
sure.
delivered to the house, but we're a little bit far away.
yeah, sure.
But it's exactly the same
It
as
is.
English. It's very, very. I'm not just saying this because you're here, because it wouldn't bother me. You're that side
No,
of the
of
desk. I
course
can
not.
get away from you. But it actually was. Well, hang on a second, Midget. What did you think of it?
Oh, I loved it. And the crackers.
Yes.
You know, I've lived in Thailand for 21 years. I've never had those crackers.
Did you come
the-
in when you were 30?
Oh, do you want to slap? I think we should gang up on him, me and you.
Yeah,
There's
so-
two of us against one old man.
Seeing as you come in to join us,
Yeah, of course.
very briefly,
Yeah.
we will give you 30 seconds to make a commercial on the hoof for Pimmy's Chinese takeaway.
Putting you on the
And
spot.
you get 30 seconds starting from now.
So if, for example, you're on Facebook and you like Chinese food, you can go to Facebook and type in the Chinese takeaway by Pimmy, and it's a delivery service. And all you need to do is message the page, okay? And once you message the page, she'll send a driver out to you with your food. If anyone mentions Fabulous, by the way, today on their first order, I'll throw in the prawn crackers. They're UK style, right? On the house, all right? So whatever you order...
Stop!
That's not too bad, was it?
30 seconds. That was very good.
Got to pay extra now.
Thank you.
That was very good.
Thank
it was
you
very
very
good, wasn't
much.
it? Yes.
Thank you very much for the plug. I appreciate
Yes,
it.
there you go.
And as I said, she works very hard at that business. I'm glad you like the food. The Chinese chicken curry has got 21 separate ingredients in.
Wow,
and
really?
it takes
Chicken, more chicken, bit more chicken, chicken foot, something
It
like that.
takes a long
Chicken
time to
foot.
make that.
Delivery
that
area,
sauce.
very quickly. How far do you deliver?
Yeah, basically, if people order in advance, we do Central Pattaya for free. We do John TM is 50 baht. On orders over 500, it's free. And Dark Side is 100 baht. And we ask if people can book it in advance because sometimes she does get a little bit busy and it helps her.
Dark side, how far do you go? You'll go out to Pong, won't you?
She's been out to she's been out to Hawaii before and places like that, you know. So yeah, I mean, again, if people book it in advance, it's not a problem. But of course, on a Saturday night at 9:30, if you're trying to order and you're right over on the dark side.
Do you think she's better than other Chinese outlets? Honestly.
I think in terms of her niche, what she does in terms of UK Chinese, I think she's a little bit better because I think she's the only one that actually specialises in UK style Chinese.
Yeah, real China. I mean,
right?
I stayed in a hotel. I stayed at New Nordic once. And when they had the Chinese tours there and they had real Chinese food, it's
Yeah.
vile.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
It's
no, it's
completely
like-
different. It's like
Oh,
completely different cuisine.
It's like, do you know what? I can let you into a little. Do you want to hear a little bit of a secret, right? So what some of the UK Chinese
Go
is
on,
actually
just
We
put
won't
into their
tell
food.
anyone.
All right, we won't tell anyone. But like, say for example, like the lemon chicken. Because we've got a partnership with a Chinese in the UK, so we get some of the ingredients. We've obviously had to pay for these recipes because they don't give them out. But I was amazed. She's got like her book with all the secret recipes that she doesn't give to anybody, right? And but one of them for the lemon chicken, lemon curd. You know, like English style lemon curd.
Yeah, lemon
that
curd.
actually goes in. Now, there's a couple of UK restaurants, right? When we went back and she had a look round, you know, in the sweet and sour sauce, we don't do this, but in the sweet and sour sauce, one of the secret ingredients, Lucozade.
No way.
Yeah, that goes
'cause
into
it's
the
all
sweet and
sugar.
sour
There's-
sauce.
They reckon it's the sauce that contains
Yeah.
more sugar than anything else. Is sweet and
Lucozade.
sour sauce.
Yeah, somebody said to me the other day, Mark, is UK style Chinese healthy? And I went, absolutely not. I'm
But
never
it's
coming on
absolutely
here.
no, but
but
it's-
it tastes fantastic.
It does,
right?
it does.
And it's one of my favourite foods as well. So, but it's her business. She started it over COVID because of course, you know, in the restaurant, most of the places closed down. We couldn't even get into restaurants, right?
Right.
And she started actually learning online. She was going back to do a course in the UK, which we'd paid for, but she started learning it online.
How many different dishes has she got now?
Oh, wow. About 30 plus.
Oh, good. So and they're all on Facebook.
It's what, sorry?
They're all listed on her Facebook page.
Yeah,
are
yeah,
they?
and occasionally what she does every week is she might throw on like a new special, like garlic beef and oyster sauce or something like
Right,
that.
end of
to keep
plug.
it-
End of plug.
Yeah,
this
yeah, no,
this
that's
thread
the
has
end of
gone
the
on
plug.
too long.
No, you're
Yeah,
right.
we need to
Absolutely.
we need to talk about.
We'll block you if you
We
carry
need to
on.
we need to talk about
absolutely.
non-kosher bagels now. We won't go there either, but we will talk
Are they
about.
crispy though?
Are they
Crispy.
Are they crispy?
Crispy.
But don't get salty on me, Tom.
Oh dear, it was me that christened him.
Yeah, I
that as well.
know.
God.
I know.
So let's talk about something else.
Yeah,
let's go
sure.
right back to the fact that you run the Breakfast Club and somebody has to be the big bad boss. That's the monitor, the moderator.
Moderator.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Which is you. So trolling, where people chase you, people follow you and hound you over Facebook. We've had that. We actually had the same stalker.
We did.
Yeah.
We won't name him.
No, we won't name him.
Right.
Actually, I think you did actually say on one of your videos, the unemployed American cook.
Yes.
But that's not giving. That's
No.
not being. We're
And
not
now-
going to name
now
him.
probably unemployable.
More than likely.
But,
Yeah.
but when you
Self-destruction.
get these people, you get a lot of people who do self-destruct.
Yeah.
First of all, I mean, to run a business, you have to believe in what you're doing. If you don't, if you're just sitting there and going, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best, and every day you're posting the same stuff on Facebook,
Yeah.
you won't get anywhere.
No.
You have to actually believe and be passionate about it.
I agree. And also,
But there's a limit to the passion. It becomes an intensity for some people, and it becomes it takes over their whole personality until they become aggressive. You're putting your hand up for something. Did you want
No,
something?
I'm just trying to get stupid Thai boy's attention, but he's got his eyes closed.
Hey,
you-
excuse us doing this. I'm just trying to tell the
Can
camera.
you zoom out? Zoom out, right. Okay, thank you. Right, we can
great.
continue now. So sorry.
No, that's fine. You just run the show, why don't you? No. So these trolls, they're a pain in the neck, aren't they? I mean, when it actually involves your private life.
Yeah, I think with Facebook you have to take the rough and the smooth. And to be perfectly honest with you, of course you're going to get people that are trolling and making stuff up and all that kind of stuff. I'm okay. Free game for me. If you don't like me, it's not a problem, right?
Most people don't.
No, I couldn't care.
No, we like
But
you, Mark. You brought us free dinner.
It's absolutely you're easily bribable. But no, in all seriousness, I don't mind. You know, for me, when someone writes something up on Facebook, it's like graffiti on a toilet wall for me. It genuinely doesn't.
Actually, I
bother me
think
that
the person we were talking about did do graffiti on the toilet wall.
much. Yeah,
He actually did.
Actually did.
Yes, he
Actually, that got
did.
into a lot of trouble. But anyway, but yeah, don't get personal. You know, my girlfriend works that's her business. That don't get personal towards, and I'd say this towards anybody that's writing stuff up. You know,
Keyboard warriors.
Keyboard warriors. When you're attacking a business in Pattaya, do you know how hard people have had it over here? Right? They're just trying to promote their business. And one of the things I do like about the Breakfast Club is it gives the little guys a big voice, right?
Yeah, it does, actually.
It gives them a big
Yes.
voice. And secondly, right, if they do get attacked or whatever, they can come straight back at somebody. You know, you've had situations where people have actually lied that they've been in a restaurant and they haven't. And, I waited an hour and a half. Well, actually,
I
we
like
checked
the posh
CCTV,
ones.
yeah.
I think he's gone now. I've forgotten his name. This bloke used to write. I alighted from my vehicle with my partner and we arrived.
Yeah.
The door was open for us. We were received and taken to our table. You got out of your car, you went in the door and sat down.
Yeah.
That's the review. So he used to write it la-di-da like that. And, of course, I think I nearly got banned because I used to take the mickey out of him.
And then
So
sorry to butt in, then you've got people having McDonald's on the beach chairs.
Yes.
On the beach table.
But yeah, but
Chips on the table.
Yeah.
On the dirty table. Oh,
But I've
that's
had
the fun of the Breakfast Club.
Luxury.
Yeah.
Luxury, that is.
I've had people turn around and say, you need to ban this guy. He's a troll. It's a fake ID, blah, blah, blah. No, I've met him. He's a real person.
Yeah,
He's just
he
completely
is.
weird, right? And that's one of the things I suppose we like living in Pattaya. We've got so many characters. But, yeah, there's some genuine, absolute weirdos out there. But, you know,
I think
it's what makes the...
this city's always attracted weirdos
Yeah.
in a larger proportion than any other city probably in the world.
Look, Tom, honestly, the Rebels have won on the Breakfast Club, to tell you the truth. I've actually given up trying to let them have their day and fight amongst each other. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't understand how people would get so aggressive towards one another
So,
when it's just about food.
Mark, we're coming to the end.
Yes.
So we're going to have one more opportunity for you to give us your opinion.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, by the way, you've seen his face. You can freeze this picture, freeze his face, and then save it on your phone and look for him if you want to punch him. And then when you see him in the street, you'll know what he looks like. You know,
Yeah,
this is
yeah, no
always good.
problem.
Your mask, there will be a bit like this over the front of me. Businesses are now reopening. All right, we all know that the bars are calling themselves eateries. We won't even go into that.
Of course.
What trends are you seeing in the city regarding food outlets?
More budget places than ever before. The middle of the road places seem to be struggling. I think if people aren't nailing a delivery service on top of their normal customer, because footfall is so small, I think they're going to struggle, right? But it's definitely the budget market which seems to be absolutely booming.
Which is, of course, the one that's not making any money for the business.
If they're doing huge volume, then fair enough. But if, for example, they're not, then they're not going to make money. You know, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to work out that if you're knocking out food at 120, 130, you're not going to make a lot of money on that. And actually the quality of the product is going to suffer a little bit, you know. But I do think, I still stand by this, right? If you put good quality products out there at reasonable prices for people, okay, you will do well in this town.
There you go,
still
Mark
think
Anthony
so.
Flack
Yeah.
from the Breakfast Club Pattaya on Fabulous 103. Thank you so much for being with us.
Hey, listen, by the way, can I just say one more thing before I go? I don't think you guys got enough credit over COVID for all the money that you actually raised. You really did lead the community.
Thank
There's
you.
an awful lot of people that actually got fed because of you guys, and community radio is important, and I hope better times to come.
That was
for you
our
guys.
listeners.
It was-
We just
Yes.
begged for the money and they just gave us the money. It was amazing.
And
Yeah.
that just goes to show what incredible reach you've got here on the radio. And as I said, I really do hope that good times are coming back, because I know you guys obviously also, you need people to advertise.
We're absolutely in the dog do. Trust me.
So I would encourage people, look at what you did, look at the reach, look at the audience. I would encourage anybody, you know, if you're going to spend a few quid on advertising, come on Fabulous 103.
A promo for 103, free food. He
Yeah.
can come back, can't he?
Okay, don't punch him now.
No, but
If you
that-
see him out in the
Yeah,
street,
don't punch him. Yeah, just
he's
just
a nice guy.
gentle little slap kind of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, like that footballer did the other day.
Yes.
Did you see that?
Oh, I see it. Yeah, it's been
Yeah,
going
he's-
around
he's
the
elbow,
Bangkok
yeah.
game.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Hey, listen, thank you guys and best of luck.
Thank
yeah.
you for the food.
Oh, you're
It was
welcome.
lovely.
You're welcome.